Hey, sportsman, John Bergsman here with a Great Lakes Insider Fishing Report. Coming to you today from the Marquette County region of the central Upper Peninsula with a brand new reporter, Chris Schrader, from up there at the Bobber Shop. It's been a bait store that's been around pretty much for about a year right now, and it's been a much needed resource and a much appreciated resource. And Chris is going to be an awesome reporter because he's not only going to talk to us about open water fishing, but he's going to talk to us about river fishing. He's going to talk to us about ice fishing. That's right, hard water fishing, and a great opportunity for you to come and experience Marquette in one of Chris's rental shanties. And he might even throw some bear hunting in on us. So, Chris, what do you got for us right now? What's going on up in Marquette?
Well, I wish I had a great report on the bear hunting, but that still remains pretty slow. I haven't gotten them yet.
Well, that's okay. Yeah, our fishermen will be happy. So if they're going to come up there and they're going to stop into the Bobber Shop, I know one thing right now. You've got an awesome run going on the Chocolate, do you not?
We do the coho fishing right now. You know, if there's a hot bite in Marquette County, it's definitely the coho fishing right now. It's been pretty great. This rain has slowed things up a little bit the last 24 hours. But the fish are still in the river. You know, it's just going to be changing up the tactics a little bit until the river calms back down.
Sure. And what is the base tactic that guys are using up there right now? If a guy's coming up to fish in Marquette, he's going to stop in the Bobber Shop. What are you going to tell him he should be bringing with him? What type of a spinning rod and spinners, maps, and that type of stuff?
The hottest lure right now is a map spinner. Guys, you're going to want to throw a number 3, a number 4. Bright colors are working the best right now. Your chartreuses, your pinks, anything fluorescent. That's been the ticket lately.
Exactly. And I've known that all over the Great Lakes, the coho fishing has been above average this year, both in the number of fish and also the high side size of some of these coho has been just a lot bigger than in the last several years. So the populations of coho are good. So if a guy's coming up, he can coho fish. I know that a lot of the small lakes in Marquette County offer some awesome late fall smallmouth bass fishing as well as bluegill fishing down in Gwin and Rock and over by the Dead River Basin. Do you have any tips for the guys who are smallie fishermen?
The smallmouth fishing has been doing well. The guys that are fishing them out of our shop primarily are still throwing, some smaller crankbaits. They're tossing a lot of spinner baits. The bluegill fishing, though, if you want to get out and do some bluegill fishing down around the Gwin area, the small leeches have been the ticket lately.
Really? And that's really. I say really because I'm an avid Minnesota fisherman. When I was a tournament guy, I spent a lot of time in Minnesota, and that is the number one bait that I would say guys in Minnesota go fishing for big bluegills with, and that is small leeches.
Yeah, a lot of people don't think about leeches as a bluegill bait, but that really is a great bait to catch those fish.
Absolutely. And those fish are going to be holed up right now. Those bluegills are not going to be in the shallow water. That's just one tip I can tell people right now. You're going to want to go find a laydown or a weed edge or something out in that 18 to 25 foot of water. Those fish are going to be holding. The one thing I know about them also, Chris, is when you find one, you typically find 100 of them.
You do. This time of year, and you gotta pay attention to your electronics. If you've got them, they're not always right on the bottom. They're going to be out in that those depths that you're talking about. But some days they're up a little higher, some days they're down a little lower. You just have to watch that.
Yep, exactly, and it's a good double-fisted way to catch those fish. There's a dead rod with a slip bobber on it, set to exactly the middle of the school, and the other one is just a rod in hand, a very light jig. either tipped with a leech or a waxy or an earthworm or something like that, to get them to be able to move that around, whether you have to go deeper into the school or whether sometimes I know that the best fish you catch out of a school are the high ones. And so you want to actually hold above the school and try to coax a few fish to come up and hit your bait a few inches. But I know there's some great crappie fishing in those lakes down by Gwin as well.
Yeah, if you're looking for crappie, about the hottest spot for that up this way would be over to Schweitzer's Basin. If you want to look over more towards the Ishpeming area,
Yep.
A lot of crappie fishing going on over there right now.
Yep, beautiful. Well, hey, we talked earlier when I chatted with you last time. You told me about this new endeavor you were going to do that I want you to let people know early about, and we'll talk about it all the fall until we get to winter. But you're going to be having shanty and ice fishing rentals, as well as the ability to get a guided trip out on the hard water this coming winter, correct?
Yeah, it's something that we're pretty excited about. You know, if it's something that you want to try, but you don't really have all the gear, or you're not real sure where you want to go, everybody's busy with kids in schools, you don't have the time to take care of a shack. We're going to have a few different shacks on some inland Marquette County. You've got the ability just to rent them. We'll let you know where they're at. They'll have heat. If you just want to go out there for the day by yourself and have a good time, or if you're looking to stop in the shop, you really don't know what's going on as far as ice fishing, we can take you out there and bring everything you need.
Beautiful. And I know one of the things that's got me the most jacked up is the fact that you also offer the customers the opportunity to set up a big pike spearing shack and then use that kind of as a home heater base, and then set tip-ups, and guys can get out of the shack and go jigging in the area around the spearing shack, and that offers some real versatility to the hard water angler.
I think a lot of people are going to enjoy that. You know, everybody says, I've never gone spearing. I've heard a lot about it. My grandpa used to do it. I'd love to try it. Well, here's an opportunity for you to try it out and see what it's all about.
Absolutely. And one of the funnest things I can tell guys right now about spearing is that they are going to get the shock of their life. If you've never seen a pike come into a hole, it's almost like they're ghosts. It's like you'd swear you're staring at your decoy and you never see the pike come in, and just all of a sudden he's there. And it's like, it is the weirdest thing. I've had this happen to me on many occasions where I never saw any movement, and then all of a sudden I see a 35 or 40 inch pike 3 inches from my decoy. And I swear I did not see that pike come in and get right up until he was already there. It's really a weird thing that people really need to appreciate.
Yeah, it's a neat experience, you know.
All right. Well, we may have dropped Chris's call there. Chris, are you back?
Yeah, I hear you, John.
Okay, beautiful. I think I lost you in my feed there for a second, but thanks for joining us, Chris. We're going to talk to you every other week. Next week, we'll probably try to touch base and slide a little bit to the east over towards the Munising area. Chris covers all the way from Munising through Marquette County. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for being a reporter for us, Chris, and we'll talk to you again in a couple weeks.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
All right. So no recap necessary there. We've got Chris giving you the lowdown on Marquette County. And, you know, one of the best things about Marquette County is that it's really underutilized. Marquette is not a place where you're going to go to a boat ramp or you're going to go to a lake and see 20 or 30 cars. These lakes are underfished. They're very productive, and I'd encourage anybody to plan a trip to join Chris up in Marquette County and take and experience that great fall fishing. You know, and if you're looking for an awesome place to stay in Marquette County, my friend Reg and his wife up at the Cedar Inn right there on the main drag, right in pretty much not downtown, but just off downtown Marquette. They've got great facilities, a great pool, hot tubs, awesome clean rooms, and the best thing about Reg is that place is fisherman friendly. You get a bunch of filleted out fish, put them in a bag. He's got a freezer. He'll freeze your fish for you. He'll hold them until it's time for you to go home. So thanks again for joining us today from the Marquette Area Fishing Report.